Hi, welcome to TTM Overcomers Rising, How to Live Out Your Days Victoriously. Today with me, I'm honored to have Milcho, who is a director and a video artist. She's also a mental health advocate. She speaks, she's incorporated with the TLC Foundation, and she speaks at the BFRB conferences. So welcome, so glad you're here.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited and
Yeah.
ready to talk to you.
Yeah. So you're a spitting image of overcoming with this disorder. Your smile shines, and I'm just so excited to talk with you today and just talk to you about Trick and also how you are just living life to the fullest right now. So
100%. Yes. 100%. Trick has nothing to do with it's just a little bump in the road.
Yeah.
Not a closed door for sure.
Yeah. So let's just start out with when did Trichotillomania start in your life? How old were you?
I started pulling my hair when I was 9 years old, and it started as a game in school, actually. I was living I'm from El Salvador, but I was living in Tennessee at the time, and I was with cousins and my aunt and my grandmother. And a girl in the classroom said, if you pull out one hair and it comes out curly, that means you're jealous. Mm-hmm. So we were about 3 different girls, and we'd just start playing, pulling, and then I never stopped again. But it just so happened that my grandmother was a Trick. So she pulled until she passed away at 84. I had that already, I believe, in my system to pull eventually, but that's literally how it started as a 9-year-old girl playing a pulling game.
So did you used to actually see your grandma pull out her hair?
I did.
Okay.
We all did. She would sit and watch TV and just pull, and she had very little hair on the top of her head, but it was never an issue. She just pulled. Nobody cared. It wasn't a conversation. It was nothing. It was just something that she did that nobody cared, pretty much. But they cared that I did it. It was a huge problem that I did it, but it was no problem that she did it. So that was pretty unfair.
Yeah. So when did you decide that I'm just going to shave my head and move on with life?
I did. I pulled my hair out I shaved my head the first time, and I never grew it back in November 2009. So it's going to be 10 years this year.
10 years.
10 years. But I never really hid my head. I mean, everybody knew I pulled my hair. It wasn't a taboo, and it wasn't anything that I wasn't a closet puller. I was a public puller, and I always was. So it didn't interfere with my friends or my boyfriends, or even though I was missing big chunks of hair, it wasn't anything that anybody was invited to vote on. It was my thing. You know what I mean? Even though people do get involved because they care, but I was just like, dude, it's my hair, man. Leave me alone, right?
Yeah. So
it would slow me down on many days because, it takes time out of your day to pull your hair. You go into these trances and then you don't move, and then it's a thing. It's not easy, but it wasn't something that I felt was taken away from my production value as a human being.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When I was in high school, because I wore a wig, and you know how you go through phases where you don't pull, and it's the strangest thing because you pull every day. But I went through a season where I wasn't pulling, and my hair was growing back, and my hair was like that long.
Oh God, you had that funky look.
The funky look.
Oh man.
And so what I did was on Friday, I went, left school with a wig. And on Monday, I came to school with spiked hair. Yeah. I overdid the gel, the hairspray. I even put glitter in it. I don't know why, but I wanted glitter. And so I rocked that for the rest of my sophomore year.
Good. Yeah, I think that
it's freeing. There's something that happens when you stop hiding and you just say, this is me, this is my face, this is where I'm at, and you just own it.
When you do, nobody picks on you, dude. When you own it, there's nothing anybody else can say.
Yeah. So
because if they don't, if what they, because if you carry it as a problem, then everybody else sees it as a problem,
yeah.
and then it is a problem.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
kind of
not to
like
say,
they can't penetrate you because you're like,
yeah,
this is me. If you don't like it, I'm sorry.
yeah, they there's nothing to say about it. They just let you be. But if they see that you're weak and they see that you're embarrassed, that it's an issue, then that's material for everybody else to jump in and say something.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Well, the interesting
100%.
thing too, it's kind of like when we start presenting ourselves in that way with this disorder, it demonstrates our strength,
Oh,
like people
100%.
see that as like, wow, you're strong. Like to do that, to,
Mm-hmm.
go out and just have spiked hair,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
awesome.
100%. Definitely. You got to flip it. You just have to own it and flip it. And again, it depends on how you project it is how everybody else is going to receive it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
That goes with anything and everything.
yeah. So you battled this disorder for how long? How many years is that?
27?
22?
27.
27. Okay. So when did you start becoming a speaker and being an advocate for those who battle this?
I was on the cover of the Miami New Times in 2005,
Okay.
14 years ago. And that came about after I did an art show at a gallery of pictures of myself eating a bowl of hair. So I had those pictures mounted outside the gallery on the street. They were really big pictures, and there were pictures from behind, and my hair was super long, and my hair was down. There was a bowl, and the hair was in the bowl, and I was putting it in my mouth. So that's how I made it more public, even though everybody who knew me knew that I pulled out my hair. And then from that, I got the cover on the magazine, and then all kinds of different television and magazine interviews and things like that.
Oh,
So
wow.
It's been 14 years since it became public to that level. I started speaking. I did a TED Talk in El Salvador in 2012, and I spoke about that. But I've always been pretty vocal, 100%. And with the foundation, with TLC, which the website is www.bfrb.org, bfrb.org. I contacted them in the early 1990s. It's been a long time, where I would receive their newsletter and this and the other. And it wasn't until 5 years ago that I started speaking at the conferences.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Very important. That's a very important conference. It's one of the few places in the world that you can be where everybody understands you and you don't have to over-explain or explain pretty much anything, because everybody's on the same page. It's a beautiful community of people from all over the world.
Yeah.
So I recommend everybody to go on the website and learn more about it.
Yeah. Sorry for the disconnection, but she is back. And we will just jump right in and how it's helping other people while you speak and how, and so we'll just go from there.
I think that in general, helping others is important, and it feeds your soul, and it feeds your day-to-day and your purpose and your why and all that. My nature is to help others all day, all the time. Under any circumstances, any age group, it's just my nature. So when you have something like Trick, which is a very specific niche, 1 second please, need to connect my computer so it doesn't die. It gives you a very specific audience, right? So the way it helps me is because I know that I can help others.
Yeah.
Because painful situation, I wouldn't be in a helping, I wouldn't be in an empowerment space. You know what I'm saying? So if I was suffering with the condition, I wouldn't be able to help anybody with it. because I would be on the other end of it. So I look at it as dealing with life overall. Mm-hmm. So when I speak, I don't only speak about trick, because trick is just a small part of everything else that happens in our life. So there's all this element of anxiety, and with trick, we don't only trick. We eat our nails, we eating disorders, suicide, depression. Like it's not just a plate with one thing on it. Yeah. It's a plate with a whole bunch of side dishes, right? Mm-hmm. So I talk about the whole thing, where there's a lot of compassion and empathy on with people who pull, because I pulled for a really long time. Yeah. I don't grow out my hair because I have a beautiful head. I love what happened. And the first time I actually looked at myself in the mirror and said, "Damn, I think you're awesome, Murph," was when I saw myself with no hair. Yeah. That was the first time I really looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, I just found you. There you are. I've been looking for you all my life. Yeah. So it was really letting go of something that was slowing me down. And that was just that thing, that backpack, that heavy backpack that I was carrying with me, that was slowing me down. It wasn't stopping me. It was slowing me down. So everything and anything that slows me down in general is something that I take out of my life. Yeah. In general, anything. You're in my way to where I'm going, you're out of the picture. You're not invited to my party. So hair was uninvited to my party. Yeah. So for me, it was like I wasn't living with Trick. Trick was living with me. You understand?
That's a good way to put 100%.
it. 100%. So I hate the victimizing. I never say I suffered from Trick. Mm-hmm. I suffer. I don't like that word. I don't. I say I have a situation. I don't have a problem. Mm-hmm. I have a situation. Mm-hmm. It's a thing. I name everything completely different to soften the cactus and to change the outlook of that, because then when it just dramatizes it too much.
It does.
You understand? And that is not how I play this life game. I don't, man. So it's like, oh, this is happening. Solution. There's a situation. Let's look at the solution. The situation's there. I don't care. I want to think about the different ways that I can, soften the edges of the situation so that it's out of the way and we can keep moving. So everything lives with me. I don't live with it, right? So I do have all kinds of things that I do. I love them all. I'm not going to stop biting my nails. I love biting my nails. Somebody has a problem? I do. I love my little boy hands. I have no problem with that. Somebody has a problem with that? It's exactly that. Someone else has a problem with that. I like it. I don't care if nobody else likes it. I love them, right? Yeah. So it goes with everything else. I go, yeah, I do this. So when you sell yourself as loving yourself unconditionally and accepting yourself, nobody dares to jump into that the negative conversation. It's just like there's nothing to grab onto. Mm-hmm. Nothing to grab onto. Mm-hmm. So then you're in a place of educating, not in a place of complaining, mm-hmm. right? So if somebody comes up to you and says, "Oh, why does your hair look like that?" "Oh no, because I have." Oh, you don't know about this? Well, check it out. 2 out of 50 people pull out their hair, and oh, really? Oh, and then all of a sudden you're expanding their education as opposed to telling somebody your dramatic story, right?
Completely.
It's all in how you tell your story and the tone in which you feel strong enough to tell your story. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not in that place, it's okay. It's all right. Eventually, your goal is to be in that place of saying, yeah, there's so many people out there we're not going to die of trichotillomania, dude. Mm-hmm. Can't kill us unless we let it kill us. And it's going to be attached to something else. And it's not going to be from pulling our hair. Hair is whatever. Hair is dead already, man. Hair is dead. You know what I mean? It is. So it's up to you whether you say that is your superpower. It's not. It's ridiculous. It's not. Yeah. There's so much more about us than hair, right? Most of us, that's how we are who we think we have to be for other people. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things that you have to work on before before you can walk into a room and be like, hey, I'm here, man. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Are you ready? But it's like anything else in the world that, dude, it's an exercise that you practice every day. And you do it with the little things. You do it on the way you sit, the way you put your shoulders, the way you say, you speak to yourself all day in an empty room so you can hear the tone of your voice so that when you say it in public, it sounds strong and it doesn't crack. It's work. But I love it.
Yeah,
And I feel glad to do it.
So I love how you talked about overcoming the victim mentality, because I think that fuels the disorder, literally. It
100%.
gives it strength. But when we're like, we don't let it have that power over us, it doesn't consume us throughout our days like it used to. And unfortunately, I lived in that victim mentality for 18 years of my life.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I got tired, like, hey, this isn't working and I'm so exhausted from this. I'm going to try something new. And that's when it's like, wow, why didn't I do this 18 years ago?
Yeah. Because you didn't know that you had an option.
Yeah.
We think that if somebody loses their leg, oh, poor thing. Oh man. Or if somebody loses a parent, oh my God, that's so cool. Or if somebody loses their house, oh, dude, no, it's part of life, man. It happens to all of us eventually. Not necessarily the amputation, but you know what I'm saying, right? Yeah. It's like, it doesn't matter what happens to you, and it doesn't. To race for one race, it takes you 4 years to train for that. Don't you just wake up and go to race? You train for just that race that lasts nothing, lasts a minute, less than a minute, 3 minutes, of whatever, doesn't matter. But all the investment to that, it's years, it's every day. That's life, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want to be great, you work at it every day. You have no days off.
Yeah.
Really, dude? You got 60 to go, dude. Keep going, right?
Yeah.
You got to do it like breathing. You don't take any time off from breathing, right? You don't. You don't wake up one day and like, today, forget it, dude. I'm not going to. No. Just keep going, right? And it goes like, so if we didn't pull our hair, something else would be there on the way, in the way. 100%. That's what life is. Hair is just one more. It's like one more thing.
Yeah.
It's it. You know, and it only, you gotta use it like a superpower, man. You gotta own it. And if you want to just pull for the rest of your life and not shave it, good for you, dude. But love every minute of it, dude. You better love it. Don't complain. Yeah. Love it. Talk about it and make everybody aware. I pull out my hair and I love it. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Because if you're going to pull out your hair and you're going to suffer and have a terrible life, do something about it. I don't want to hear it. Yeah. Don't want to hear it, man. We don't have time, Erin. We don't have time.
Yeah. There's so much out there to do and enjoy and live.
100%.
Yeah. So in closing, we just have a few minutes left.
All right.
What would you say to someone who's listening right now and who feels trapped, like I can't get out of this, and they feel hopeless? What would you say to that person who's battling trich?
You got to focus on other things about you that are incredible, dude. You're stuck looking, your focus is in the wrong place. It's, you know what I mean? If you're looking at yourself at your body and you have beautiful legs and beautiful arms and a beautiful face, but your tummy is like flabby and your belly button's funky or whatever, and you're stuck just looking at that, you're screwed, man. You're not looking at everything else about you that is beautiful to look at, just speaking on the superficial end. You know what I'm saying? Because we do that. So your focal point is in the wrong place. You got to have a passion. I'm big on that. You pull out your hair. Okay, great. Cool, man. But do you like to draw? Are you a musician? Do you like to swim? Do you like to read? Like, what else do you do? I don't care about your hair pulling, dude. I don't. I'm really interested about you. Your hair pulling is cool, man. You do that. Yes, I get it. But what else do you do? Not what else do you do, because you're not adding that. What do you do? Who are you, right? You got to work on your self-awareness. You got to see what you're doing when you're pulling out your hair. What are you doing, dude? What'd you eat? Was it too much sugar? Are you holding your breath? Self-awareness, right? Did you have a conversation that triggered something that upset you? Is that person that has to be in your life? Yes or no? Did you not work out this morning? Maybe you should go sweat for a little bit. You got to work at it all day, right? So what do you do when you do that? Focus on other things. I know it's easier said than done, but it's an exercise, and you train yourself. You train yourself. Like you pull out your hair, be kind to yourself. Be nicer to yourself. Self-love is everything. You guys have to follow my Self-Crush Project on Instagram also.
Okay.
That's Self-Crush Project.
Okay.
And it's just exercises, habits, man. Work at it. Write, journal. You gotta journal. Gotta journal every day. You gotta journal. You gotta have goals every day. You have to live with intention. You can't just wake up in the morning and say, oh, okay, I'm just gonna go live by default. No, you have to live with intention. You have to have a purpose. Doesn't matter what it is. Whether it could be as simple as today I'm just gonna clean the house. That's part of your to-do list. Super valid. Getting having a to-do list and knowing that you're accomplishing everything throughout the day, as small as, like I said, journaling. I'm sorry. Yeah, because I put on my to-do list the first thing, journal. Then I put it on my to-do list. I did it. I feel good. You know, serotonin, man, get that going. There's ways that we can get there's so many natural ways for us to feel good about ourselves that we don't use.
Yeah.
That it's right there. All you got to do is walk. All you got to do is go for a walk and you feel better, man. 100%. All you got to do is start talking to strangers on the street that seem interesting, and all of a sudden, you expanded. Dude, it's not as hard as we think it is. We just have to do it. We get caught in that victim mode that you were talking about. And complaining, and that is the biggest waste of life that we can ever have.
Awesome.
Focal point, man. Change your focal point. We are not our hair. I swear to you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I so appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day for this interview. And you are a beautiful image of overcoming trichotillomania. Exactly.
100%.
It's completely. So I'm so thankful that you're able to talk with us and share so much encouragement. Okay. And
thank you. We got this. We got this. It's as bad as we make it.
Yeah.
Not that bad.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for logging on and viewing this interview. And I hope you guys have a good day.